Welcome. Today we're looking at the top 5 rare United States of America $quarter coins, each found in different conditions and with different mint marks that make them highly collectible and extremely valuable. From scarce early Washington quarters to rare state quarter errors and low mintage modern issues, these coins can be worth big money depending on whether they carry a P, D, or S mint mark, and whether they're in circulated, uncirculated, or high-grade condition. Some varieties are valuable even when worn, while others skyrocket in price when found in sharp, brilliant mint state quality. Let's get started. First up, the United States of America $quarter from the year 1984, minted with a D mint mark and found in circulated condition. Even though this coin is common, every circulated quarter holds a story, and this 1984 D Washington quarter is no exception. The 1984 D quarter comes from the Denver Mint, a facility well known for producing high volumes of circulating coins. The D mint mark located on the obverse side signifies its origin, and for many collectors, that small letter adds an important layer of identity to the coin. This quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. In circulated condition, the portrait often shows signs of wear, especially on Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline, where constant handling typically smooths the details. Circulated condition means this 1984 D quarter has been used as everyday money for many years. It likely passed through countless pockets, wallets, and cash registers, accumulating marks, scratches, and light discoloration along the way. These imperfections give the coin its character. Looking closely at the surface, you may see faint scuffs or dull areas where the original mint luster has faded. The color of the coin may appear slightly darker or less shiny, which is typical for a quarter that has spent decades in circulation. The rim of the coin may show mild flattening or tiny dents, as circulated coins often make contact with hard surfaces. Even with these marks, the integrity of the design usually remains recognizable and attractive to collectors of circulated coinage. On the reverse side, you'll find the classic heraldic eagle, perched proudly with wings spread wide. Although this design has appeared on millions of quarters, each circulated coin displays its own level of wear, making every piece slightly unique. The details in the eagle's feathers, claws, and arrows usually fade with heavy circulation. If your coin still retains visible feather lines or clear shapes in the eagle's wings, it suggests a more lightly circulated example, which can be more appealing to collectors. Because the 1984 D quarter was produced in large numbers, it is not rare. However, collectors still examine these coins carefully for mint errors, doubling, die cracks, or unusual marks that may add value even in circulated condition. The lettering around the coin's edge, such as United States of America, Liberty, and In God We Trust, often holds onto its sharpness longer than the central image. This can help determine how much wear the coin has endured over the years. Circulated coins like this often display a natural grayish or slightly brownish tone due to environmental exposure. This toning is normal and does not usually affect the coin's structural integrity unless corrosion is present. Turning the coin sideways reveals the reeded edge, a series of small ridges that help collectors judge wear. A well-worn 1984 D quarter may have softened or smoother ridges, while a lightly circulated one will still show sharp, distinct reading. Many collectors appreciate circulated quarters because they offer an affordable entry into coin collecting. The 1984 D quarter is a great example of a coin that is inexpensive but historically meaningful. The year 1984 falls within a period when Washington quarters were all struck in copper-nickel-clad composition. This material is durable, which is why even decades-old coins like this continue to survive in good structural condition. Looking closely at Washington's profile, some circulated coins may display light scratches or contact marks. These marks are common and come from the coin rubbing against others during circulation. Occasionally, a circulated 1984 D quarter may show subtle grease marks or weak strikes caused by worn dies at the mint. These aren't errors but are interesting characteristics that collectors look for when evaluating a coin. Examining the reverse, the area around the eagle's head and wings often shows the most noticeable wear. The high points of the design naturally flatten from years of handling. The Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters in 1984, making them widely available. But finding one in attractive circulated condition still feels rewarding, especially for collectors who enjoy building sets year by year. This coin also represents a time before the state quarter program began in 1999. For many Americans, the Eagle Reverse Washington quarter was the standard design they used for decades, making this coin part of a long numismatic tradition. While circulated examples don't command high market value, they remain essential for collectors who wish to assemble full-date mint-mark runs of Washington quarters. If you're examining your 1984 quarter for potential errors, look for doubling on the date, mint mark, or lettering. Even circulated error quarters can fetch higher prices depending on the severity of the mistake. Another interesting area to check is the rim. A misaligned die strike may cause part of the rim to shift, creating an unusual visual effect. Even small variations can make your coin more desirable to error collectors. Circulated coins often carry a mix of light and dark patches on the surface. These come from the oils of fingertips, exposure to moisture, or long-term storage in pockets or containers. Despite the wear, the overall structure of the coin usually remains solid, thanks to the durable copper-nickel-clad metal mixture. This is one reason Washington quarters from the 1980s remain popular among collectors. The 1984 quarter also works well as a teaching tool for beginners learning how to grade coins. Circulated examples reveal the differences between mint state, very fine, fine, and good condition. Holding a circulated coin like this reminds us how money travels endlessly through society. Your quarter may have been used in vending machines, toll booths, grocery stores, or even long-closed businesses. Collectors who enjoy assembling albums often include circulated 1984 quarters when filling year-by-year pages. These coins complete the story of the 1980s quarter series. If your coin still has readable details, a mostly intact rim, and clear lettering, it sits on the better side of circulated grading. These small strengths make the coin more appealing visually. Even with wear, the 1984 quarter remains a solid piece of American coinage history. It reflects decades of everyday use while still preserving the iconic artwork of the Washington Quarter series. As we wrap up this video, remember that every circulated coin has a story. Your 1984 quarter may not be rare, but it carries real history that continues to engage collectors and everyday enthusiasts alike. Next up, the United States of America quarter dollar from the year 1980, minted with the P mint mark and found in very fine condition. This particular coin holds a special place in the Washington Quarter series, and collectors love examining pieces like this for their beauty, history, and details. The 1980 P quarter comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which is well known for producing large quantities of circulating coins. The P mint mark, located on the obverse side of the coin, stands proudly just beside Washington's portrait, signifying its origin and giving it a unique identity within the quarter series. This coin features the iconic bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. In very fine condition, many of the coin's features remain crisp and visible. Washington's hair details, facial contours, and the folds on his portrait still show strong definition, even though some of the highest points may show light wear. Very fine condition means the coin has been used in circulation but still retains much of its original detail. It avoids the heavy flattening seen in lower grades, making it appealing for collectors who enjoy coins with both age and visual clarity. The surface of the 1980 P quarter in very fine condition often still reflects some light original luster. Although the shine may not be as bright as mint state examples, the coin still maintains a healthy appearance, with only minor dullness and contact marks. Looking closely, you may notice small abrasions or faint scratches that come from handling and circulation. These marks are expected but do not detract from the coin's quality in very fine grade. In fact, they help tell the story of how long the coin has been in use. The rim of the coin remains mostly intact in very fine condition. You may notice slight smoothing, but overall, the shape and structure remain strong, helping the coin retain its pleasing appearance when held or viewed from an angle. On the reverse of the coin, the famous heraldic eagle design stands boldly, clutching arrows and an olive branch. The feathers on the wings and tail still appear defined in very fine condition, although you may see light wear on the highest points where the design naturally rubs over time. The lettering on this coin, such as United States of America and E pluribus unum, typically remains sharp and legible. Very fine grade coins usually maintain excellent readability, which adds to their collectability. The quarter's reeded edge also stays well preserved in very fine condition. Most of the ridges remain sharp and distinguishable, offering another indicator that the coin has not endured heavy use. The 1980 quarter remains part of the earlier Washington Quarter era, long before the state quarter program changed the series in 1999. Many collectors find these pre-state quarter coins nostalgic, representing a time when the eagle reverse design was a familiar sight for decades. Although the 1980p quarter is not rare, finding examples in very fine condition does make it more desirable than heavily worn pieces. Condition plays a major role in coin collecting, and a well-preserved circulated example always stands out. Collectors also enjoy checking coins like this for mint errors. Even a common date can become valuable if it exhibits doubling, die cracks, clipped planchets, or off-center strikes. The 1980p quarter is no exception, and careful examination is always worthwhile. Pay attention to the area around the mint mark. Although Philadelphia errors are less common than Denver or San Francisco issues, any irregularities in the mint mark can make your coin far more interesting. The fields of the coin, the flat areas around Washington's portrait, may show light marks or faint discoloration. In very fine condition, these marks tend to be minimal, letting the main design remain visually strong. The color of the coin in very fine condition often presents a natural silver-gray appearance. Unlike heavily circulated coins, the very fine grade shows fewer dark patches or tarnish, making the coin look cleaner and better preserved. Turning the coin in the light often reveals subtle remaining luster along the edges of the design. This faint shine is a hallmark of lightly circulated coins and makes the piece more appealing in hand. Many collectors appreciate the weight and feel of a 1980 quarter in very fine condition. The coin has lost none of its original structure thanks to the durable copper-nickel composition used in modern clad quarters. The reverse side may show light wear on the eagle's wings and legs, but the major shapes and feather patterns remain clear. This balance of wear and detail is what defines the very fine grade. Examining the date closely, you'll notice that the 1980 remains bold and clearly defined. The digits show little rounding, which is another indicator of the coin's strong condition. Coins in very fine condition often display a balance between age and beauty. They show enough wear to suggest real-world use but retain enough details to be enjoyed as collectible pieces. For collectors creating complete year and mint mark sets, the 1980p quarter in very fine condition fits perfectly as a clean, visually attractive representative of the early 1980s minting era. Holding this coin today gives a sense of nostalgia. It likely passed through countless hands, shops, pockets, and transactions over the years, carrying with it a quiet history of American daily life. Because the Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of quarters in 1980, the challenge for collectors isn't finding one, it's finding one in strong condition like this. Very fine pieces are far less common than heavily worn circulation examples. The obverse lettering, including Liberty and In God We Trust, remains strong in very fine condition. Only minor lightness may appear on the tallest letters, but overall clarity is excellent. This coin also appeals to new collectors because it's affordable yet attractive. Very fine grade Washington quarters allow beginners to enjoy quality coins without needing a large budget. Even though the 1980p quarter isn't considered rare, preserved circulated examples are becoming less common as many coins wear down further or leave circulation entirely. Collectors who appreciate visually appealing coins will enjoy how this piece balances detail and wear. The coin remains easy to study and admire even after decades of use. As we finish exploring this 1980p quarter, remember that every coin tells a story. This one reflects the early 1980s economic era, the long-standing Washington quarter design, and years of American commerce. Next up, the United States of America 1987 quarter dollar with the P mint mark, found in very fine condition with its natural circulated color. If you enjoy learning about coins that might be hiding value, make sure to watch this video all the way to the end. This 1987p Washington quarter may look simple at first glance, but every coin tells a deeper story. From minting history to circulation wear and metal composition, even common coins carry fascinating details that collectors love to explore. So today, we'll take a closer look at everything that makes this quarter interesting. The Washington Quarter Series began in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse features a portrait of Washington facing left, while the reverse displays the iconic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows. This classic design continued for decades before state quarters replaced it in 1999. The 1987 issue falls within the late conventional Washington quarter era. During this time, quarters were made with a cupronickel-clad composition, a copper core with a nickel coating. Even though they aren't silver, collectors still value particular years based on condition, mint errors, and historical context. Your 1987 quarter contains the P mint mark, which means it was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The P mark appears just behind Washington's ponytail on the obverse. This small detail is highly important in identifying the coin's origin, and it helps determine how many were produced. In 1987, millions of quarters were minted at Philadelphia, making most examples quite common. However, condition plays a major role in desirability. A very fine condition 1987 P quarter stands above the average circulated piece because its details are still sharp and the wear is moderate. The natural circulated color of this coin adds to its authentic charm. Over time, coins take on a tone specific to their environment. A very fine quarter often shows a mix of original brightness and darker shading from years of handling, a look many collectors appreciate. On the obverse, Washington's hair details remain partially visible in very fine condition. The cheek and jaw might show some flattening, but the overall portrait remains bold. These small elements contribute to grading accuracy and help collectors understand the coin's journey. Moving to the reverse, the eagle design should still display noticeable feather details. In very fine condition, the wings, arrows, and wreath maintain good visibility. While the highest points may show soft wear, the overall artwork remains identifiable and attractive. Collectors also look at the rim and edge of the coin. A strong, complete rim with no major dents or gouges helps maintain grade quality. A very fine 1987 P quarter typically shows only light circulation marks and minimal surface disruptions. To fully appreciate the value of any coin, you must understand its mintage. The Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these quarters in 1987, which means only coins with exceptional condition or unique errors stand out in the market. Though a standard 1987 P quarter in very fine condition is not considered rare, it is still a desirable collectible for anyone building a full Washington quarter date and mint set. Completing the 1980s series without damage or corrosion can be a fun challenge. Another interesting factor is minting quality during the 1980s. Not all coins were struck perfectly, and some collectors search for weak strikes, die cracks, or double die varieties. Even subtle mint errors can add a premium to an otherwise common coin. One of the best things about circulated coins is imagining where they've been. Your 1987 P quarter might have passed through vending machines, gas stations, shops, or even traveled across states through decades of everyday use. Very fine condition coins often represent that perfect middle ground, well preserved but still full of character. They give us a glimpse into the past while retaining enough detail for collectors to admire the original artistry. When evaluating condition, pay attention to fields, the flat areas of the coin. The fewer scratches and heavy marks, the better. A very fine quarter usually has moderate contact marks but none severe enough to distract from the design. Unlike earlier silver quarters, 1987 coins have no intrinsic metal value. Their worth comes from collectability, condition, and any possible error features. For many collectors, it's the historical appeal rather than the metal content that matters. If your coin displays uneven color tones or patina, that can actually make it more appealing. Natural toning is often preferred over cleaning, which damages surface integrity and lowers value dramatically. Collectors also appreciate understanding the context of a coin's era. In the late 1980s, the U.S. Mint was modernizing and increasing production efficiency. This period bridged older minting methods with the technology that would produce the state quarters a decade later. Another reason the 1987 quarter is interesting is because it represents the final years of the classic eagle reverse. Just 12 years later, America would shift to the 50-state quarter program, completely transforming the series and sparking mass collector interest. Some collectors focus specifically on Philadelphia Mint coins because the P Mint mark became more commonly used only in later decades. It wasn't always standard to mark coins produced there, making modern Philadelphia coins a significant part of contemporary U.S. minting history. Your coin's circulated color reflects natural wear from real-world use rather than artificial polishing. Collectors see that as a sign of authenticity. Every scratch and shade tells part of the story. When examining the coin under good lighting, you may notice small details like rim thickness, spacing of letters, and relief height. These elements differ slightly between strikes and can be fascinating for anyone who loves numismatic study. If your coin feels balanced in color and shows smooth, honest wear, that supports its very fine grade. Coins in this condition are more visually appealing than heavily worn examples with faded design and weak rims. Storing the coin properly is important, even if it's a common date. Keeping it in a protective sleeve or holder prevents further wear and preserves whatever value and condition it already has. Collectors who aim to build year-by-year collections enjoy adding coins like the 1987 P quarter because it represents a reliable, accessible, and historically meaningful piece of American coinage. As you handle your quarter, take time to appreciate how many years it's spent in circulation. From 1987 until today, that's decades of American transactions, making it a small yet enduring witness of daily life. If you're a beginner collector, this coin serves as a perfect example of how to evaluate circulated coins, understand mint marks, and assess detail sharpness. Every coin you study builds your numismatic knowledge. The 1987 P quarter may not be a rare treasure, but it still holds value for collectors who appreciate its condition, history, and preserved design. It's a great addition to any circulated Washington quarter collection. And for those who enjoy showcasing their finds, this coin photographs well due to its bold artwork and balanced wear. It's the kind of piece viewers love seeing in coin collecting videos and displays. Next up, United States of America 1990 quarter dollar with a D mint mark, found in good circulated condition with its natural color. Even though this coin may seem like an ordinary piece of pocket change, it has a long history, unique features, and details worth exploring. The Washington Quarter Series has been in circulation since 1932, originally created to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. The obverse shows the well-known portrait of Washington, designed by John Flanagan, and this design remained unchanged for decades until the introduction of the state quarters in 1999. The 1990 quarter belongs to the last decade of the classic eagle reverse era. These coins represent the final traditional style before America shifted into modern-themed quarters. Every coin minted during this time carries a piece of history from an era just before coin collecting exploded in popularity. Your 1990 quarter carries the D mint mark, which means it was produced at the Denver Mint. This mint is responsible for billions of coins each year, and in 1990 it manufactured a large number of quarter dollars for everyday circulation. The mint mark is located on the obverse of the coin, just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Even though it is small, it plays an essential role in identifying where the coin was struck and in tracking production quantities for collectors. Coins from 1990 are not considered rare, but condition, striking details, and potential mint errors can set certain examples apart. Your coin is in good condition, which means it has clear signs of circulation but still retains most of its main features. Good condition typically means the highest points of Washington's portrait show significant wear. The hair details may be faded, the cheek and jaw flattened, and the overall image may have a softer appearance. Even with this wear, the design remains fully recognizable. On the reverse, the eagle perched on a bundle of arrows usually shows heavy wear in good condition examples. Feather details are often faint, and the wreath may appear smooth. However, the overall outline of the design stays completely intact. The natural circulated color of the coin tells a story of decades of use. A good condition 1990 quarter may show darker patches, light oxidation, and tone variations caused by oils, pockets, surfaces, and weather exposure during its life. Even though quarters from this era contain no silver, their copper-nickel composition is durable, which is why coins from the 1990s still survive in circulation today. Their longevity makes them interesting objects of study for new collectors. The rim of a good condition quarter often shows nicks, dents, and light flattening from heavy use. These small imperfections are normal and help confirm the authenticity of natural circulation. Because millions of 1990D quarters were minted, collectors typically focus on error varieties. Certain die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubled lettering can add value far beyond the worth of a normal circulated example. The 1990 quarter also marks a time when the U.S. Mint was improving production consistency. However, despite technological progress, small variations still occurred, making error hunting a favorite activity for enthusiasts. Holding this coin in your hand gives you a sense of its long journey. For more than 30 years, this quarter has likely passed through countless pockets, wallets, shops, gas stations, and vending machines. Every scratch and mark represents real-life use. Even though good condition coins are common, they still play an important role in building complete year-and-mint collections. Many collectors start with circulated sets before upgrading to higher-grade examples over time. The 1990D quarter is also a great learning coin for understanding grading. Studying where the design wears down helps beginners quickly recognize what separates good, fine, and very fine examples. Collectors value the strength of lettering on coins. In good condition, the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and "United States of America" may show soft edges but remain completely readable. Clear lettering adds to the coin's appeal. Another interesting detail is the reeded edge. On well-used coins, the reeds may be noticeably smoothed down, especially on the high points. This kind of wear supports the good condition classification. Coins from 1990 reflect a time before widespread coin roll hunting became popular online. Today, these quarters are often searched in bulk for hidden errors or better grade examples. Your coin could easily be part of such a collection today. The Denver Mint has a strong reputation for producing well-struck coins. Even in lower grades like good condition, the 1990D quarter often shows consistent strike quality, with balanced spacing and clean design lines when new. When examining a circulated quarter, it's important to check for signs of cleaning. A naturally aged, circulated color is far more desirable than a scratched or overly shiny clean surface, which reduces collector value. Your 1990D quarter represents a piece of everyday American life from 3 decades ago. Whether it purchased snacks, paid tolls, or helped in small transactions, it played a role in countless hands-on moments. Because the coin is from 1990, it predates major U.S. coin program changes. It came before the state quarters, America the Beautiful series, and reverse redesigns, making it part of the earlier generation of simple, iconic U.S. coinage. For collectors around the world, U.S. quarters are among the most recognized coins. A 1990D quarter in good condition is a great entry point for international collectors learning about U.S. minting history. This coins ware tells us it circulated widely but still survived without major damage, bending, corrosion, or deep gouges. That shows the durability of cupronickel coinage and the stability of U.S. production standards. If you enjoy coin roll hunting, the 1990D is the type of coin you commonly encounter. While not rare, it can still be exciting to find if you're completing year sets or searching for interesting die varieties. Collectors often save quarters from the 1980s and 1990s because these decades represent the classic style before the big design changes. Your 1990D quarter fits perfectly into that historical timeline. Even though the coin is in good condition, you can still appreciate the artistry of the original design. From Washington's profile to the eagle's pose, the coin captures a traditional American aesthetic that lasted nearly 70 years. If preserved properly in a coin holder, even a common good condition quarter can remain stable and avoid further wear. Storing it safely helps maintain whatever collectible value it currently holds. The 1990D quarter is a reminder that not every valuable coin needs to be old or rare. Sometimes the true value lies in the history, the journey, and the understanding it gives collectors as they grow in the hobby. As you continue your collecting adventures, coins like this one help you build knowledge, develop your grading skills, and appreciate the evolution of U.S. coinage. Every coin brings something new to learn. Next up. The United States of America 1989 Washington quarter, struck with the P mint mark and found in good circulated condition. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but it carries history, design significance, and collectible interest. The Washington Quarter Series has been a cornerstone of U.S. pocket change since 1932. Originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, this design has become iconic across American coinage. The 1989 issue represents the final decade before major design changes arrived in the late 1990s. Your 1989 P quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest minting facility in the United States. Philadelphia coins typically feature the P mint mark, and this mark sits on the obverse side, just to the right of Washington's portrait. Even though it is small, it helps identify where the coin was made. The coin you have is in good condition, which means it has seen many years of circulation. Much of the finer detail has worn down, but the main design elements remain clear and identifiable. This level of wear tells the story of a coin that has traveled through countless hands and transactions. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait usually shows smoother hair details and flattened high points in good condition. The cheek and jaw areas may appear more worn, and sharp lines from the original strike fade into softer curves. Even with this wear, the portrait remains strongly recognizable. The inscriptions, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust," remain readable on most good condition examples, though the edges of the lettering may appear faint or rounded from heavy use. The date, 1989, also stays visible, though sometimes slightly worn. The reverse of the coin features the classic heraldic eagle, perched proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath. This design served for decades before the introduction of the state quarters in 1999. The 1989 quarter represents one of the final years of this long-running reverse artwork. In good condition, the eagle's feathers often lose their fine texture. The wings appear smooth, the chest detail is faint, and the arrows may show only basic outlines. Even so, the overall structure of the eagle remains clear enough to identify the coin instantly. The edge of the coin is reeded, meaning it has small ridges. On circulated examples, many of these ridges become worn down or flattened. This is completely normal for a coin that has been used for decades, and it helps indicate the level of circulation it experienced. The color of a good condition 1989 quarter typically shows natural wear tones. Light gray surfaces, darker patches, and subtle discoloration are common signs of age. These color changes give the coin character and confirm authentic circulation rather than cleaning or polishing. It is important to note that 1989 quarters contain no silver. They are made from copper nickel, a durable alloy that helps coins survive long periods of use. This material gives them a metallic shine when new, but over time, daily use softens the appearance. Even though the 1989 quarter is not considered rare, certain examples can be valuable if they contain mint errors. Collectors often look for double dies, die cracks, off-center strikes, and other production mistakes. Any such error can greatly increase the coin's value beyond typical levels. Philadelphia mint coins from the late 1980s were produced in large quantities. Despite the high mintage, collectors still appreciate well-preserved examples, and even circulated coins hold interest for anyone building year-end mint sets. Holding this 1989 P quarter is like holding a piece of history from over 3 decades ago. It existed before smartphones, before modern digital payment systems, and before the state quarter program changed collecting forever. This coin represents a different era in American daily life. The circulated wear on your coin suggests it was used in thousands of everyday purchases: groceries, gas, bus fares, vending machines, and more. Every mark, scratch, and worn-down detail reflects real usage by real people across the country. Coins in good condition also help new collectors learn how grading works. By comparing your 1989 quarter to examples in fine, very fine, or uncirculated condition, anyone can quickly see how circulation affects value and appearance. The Philadelphia Mint is known for producing a high volume of coins each year. In 1989, the Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters, ensuring that they were widely distributed across the United States. Your coin is a surviving example from this massive production run. Even though the coin has circulated heavily, its structural integrity remains strong. The rim is still intact, the metal has not corroded, and the design is still readable. This durability is one of the reasons U.S. coins last so long in circulation. Collectors often save coins from the 1980s and 1990s because these decades represent the end of the classic eagle reverse era. Your 1989 P quarter fits perfectly into this pre-state quarter historical period. Some collectors even keep circulated coins from each year as a way to document their collecting journey. A 1989 quarter can fill an important spot in a date set, especially for those building a complete collection of Washington quarters. The design of the Washington quarter is simple yet timeless. The bold profile of Washington on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse create a balanced and traditional appearance that many collectors still appreciate. Good condition coins may not have the sharpest details, but they show the natural life of a circulating coin better than pristine examples. Each sign of wear is a piece of history preserved on a tiny metal canvas. When studying this coin, look at the fields, which are the flat areas surrounding the design. On good condition coins, these fields often show scratches, contact marks, and dulling. These are expected and help confirm that the coin was not artificially polished. Your 1989 P quarter is a great example of how even common coins can be meaningful when you understand their history. It represents a bridge between older U.S. coinage and the modern programs that followed. For beginners, this type of coin helps build essential knowledge about mint marks, design evolution, and grading. For experienced collectors, it serves as a nostalgic reminder of the coins that circulated widely during their youth. Although not a high-value collector piece, The sentimental and educational value of circulated coins like this one cannot be understated. They offer a hands-on connection to American history. Storing the coin properly, even in a simple plastic flip, can prevent further wear and keep it as part of your permanent collection or display. This ensures the coin stays preserved for years to come. This coin also encourages collectors to keep searching. You never know when a common-looking circulated coin might turn out to be an error variety worth significantly more than face value. Coins from 1989 are now over 35 years old, and even circulated examples are becoming less common in daily pocket change. Many have been removed by collectors or lost over time, giving remaining examples an added element of preservation. As we reach the end of this detailed look at the 1989 Washington quarter, it's clear that every coin has a story worth telling. Your coin reflects a chapter of American numismatic history that continues to inspire collectors worldwide.